Journalist Yasemin Çongar on Wednesday gave testimony to a public prosecutor as a suspect in an investigation into the 2010 publication of documents by the Taraf daily that prompted the launch of a major coup case implicating top military brass. Taraf journalist Mehmet Baransu, who provided the documents from an unknown source, had submitted them to prosecutors in 2010 after the daily published them. The documents were in digital form on a number of CDs and purported to reveal coup plans of military officials and their collaborators. Prosecutors launched an investigation and the infamous Balyoz, Sledgehammer, trial was started based on these CDs. Suspects in the Balyoz case were sentenced in 2012 to jail sentences of up to 20 years on charges of attempting to overthrow the government. Baransu was arrested on March 2 of this year for releasing classified documents. A day before the arrest order, Baransu's home was searched for 12 hours by the Istanbul police. Baransu told the press that what he did was an act of journalism. The prosecutor later summoned journalists Çongar and Ahmet Altan, the Daily's former main editors, to testify as suspects in the probe. Altan, who was editor-in-chief of Taraf when the documents were published, gave an interview to the Cumhuriyet Daily after Baransu's arrest, saying, "I am the one who made the call for those documents to be published. Stop questioning the children over it and come to me." The growing government pressure on journalists becomes more visible every passing day, as with cases launched against journalists on the grounds that they have insulted state officials. On Wednesday, Twitter blocked access to two tweets posted by two top editors from the Today's Zaman Daily over Turkish court decisions which had ruled that the posts contained insults directed at Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu. Davutoglu has recently sued Today's Zaman editor-in-chief Bülent Kenz and managing editor Celal Sar over tweets they wrote, the latest in a series of similar cases filed against journalists in Turkey. The two journalists received case documents, including formal allegations and copies of Twitter posts they had written criticizing Davutoglu, on Tuesday. The legal complaint had been filed on December 29, 2014. On Wednesday, Twitter's legal team informed Kenz that it had withheld access to one of his tweets which a Turkish court ruled contained insults directed at Davutoglu. Twitter also said an appeal filed by the company against the ruling to block access to Kenz's tweets had been rejected by an upper court. In the tweet, Kenz criticized Davutoglu's failure to make decisions independent of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. "We could soon hear statements from Davutoglu saying I lost my ID, it is null and void," he wrote. Twitter has also blocked access to certain Twitter posts written by Sar for insulting a public servant. Sar's three popular Twitter accounts had previously been suspended by Twitter after a Turkish court ruled that the account's content allegedly tarnished the reputation of government officials. Also on December 29 of last year, Kenz, Sar, and Sevgi Akarsesme, a columnist for the Zaman Daily, were sued in a move that has only contributed to the sense that media freedom in Turkey is deteriorating. However, these journalists were only informed about the case on February 12 of this year when they received documents including the allegations and copies of their Twitter posts that were critical of Davutoglu. In another development, an indictment was prepared against journalist Ergun Babahan seeking up to 2 years and 8 months in prison for allegedly insulting President Erdogan's son, Bilal Erdogan, in one of his columns. An investigation was launched and subsequently a case was opened against Millet Daily columnist Babahan after a complaint was made by Bilal Erdogan over a column titled "Let's All Shout Together, the Thief Will Be Called to Account." The indictment claims that the journalist committed the crime of insult through the media in the column dated December 17, 2014, the anniversary of a major corruption scandal that also implicated Bilal Erdogan. Simultaneous operations were launched on December 17 and 25 in 2013 as part of a major investigation into alleged bribery linked to public tenders and corruption. The sons of 3 ministers, in addition to bureaucrats and prominent businessmen, as well as Bilal Erdogan, were implicated in the scandals. In yet other developments, 2 cartoonists from a popular Turkish satirical magazine have each been sentenced to almost 1 year in prison for insulting President Erdogan by implying in a cartoon that he is a homosexual, according to a daily on Wednesday. The prison sentence of 11 months, 20 days was converted into a fine by the court, the Hurriyet daily said. Bahadur Baruter and Azar Adoan, cartoonists for the magazine Penguin, will each pay a total of TL 7,000, i.e., TL 20 in lieu of each day of imprisonment. President of the Media Ethics Council, MEC, Halit Esendur, has also been sentenced to 11 months and 20 days in prison on charges of insulting National Intelligence Organization, MT, head Hakan Fidan. The charges come from a case where Fidan sued Esendur for statements he made during an interview with internet news website Rota Haber last year. It is said in a petition filed by Fidan that in an interview published by Rota Haber on March 25, 2014, Esendur insulted state institutions and organs, in violation of Article 301 of the Turkish Penal Code, TCK. It is also alleged that he violated Article 125 of the TCK, as he insulted a public officer regarding the performance of his duties. In the meantime, journalist Ahmet K had his Instagram account closed on Wednesday due to some pictures he shared from his account. The pictures were from Nevruz celebrations in Diyarbakir province, some of which feature jailed outlawed Kurdistan Workers' Party, PKK, leader Abdullah Öcalan. KS account was reopened later due to strong reactions on social media.